Okay, Nintendo or the Pokemon Company, you convinced me it's happening, and oh boy, thank goodness it's happening. If we were really going to take a look at it, it definitely really seems like Rayquaza is going to be returning, or more specifically, Pokemon Emerald. Because if we were going to look at everything that has been released over the past month or so, you'll realize, oh boy, they've really been pointing into the direction of Hoenn. And Pokemon Emerald definitely seems like the most likely thing. Also, if we were to take a look at it, a couple days ago, in fact, we just got a brand new sequence to this whole story, which is definitely fantastic. Not only do we have the Pokemon TCG Pocket set, which is going to be Rayquaza theme, we also have an official TCG set, which is going to be Rayquaza theme. We also have the 30th anniversary set that's not necessarily Rayquaza theme, but does supposedly going to have a big Rayquaza card. But also, if you look at the Pokemon Center website, you'll realize that then the region that they're supporting the most is Hoenn. Not Kanto, not Johto, not Kitakami or the latest games, but Hoenn. Also, if we were to take a look at it, I'm sure you've seen these images everywhere by now, that they released these simultaneously, with one showing the region of Hoenn, the other one showing Take Care of Mudkip, and then the other one showing some other thing on Hoenn, which is definitely really interesting when you look at it. But now, just recently, they released a brand new Lego set, and can you guess what it's about? That's right, it's about Rayquaza. Now, haven't I convinced you by now? Not only do all of these things make sense for the 30th anniversary celebration, but Pokemon themselves did say that this is going to be a year-long celebration. And with a year-long celebration comes a lot of different things. Usually, with any year-long celebration, the Pokemon Company is going to be announcing and releasing more things. And if you realize, usually we always see a summer Pokemon Presents. Do you see where I'm going? Now, what exactly does a Pokemon Present have to do with anything? Well, if they're going to reveal something, it's most likely going to be Pokemon Emerald releasing later at some point. And when I mean later, it definitely makes sense in that regard. Because when you look at it, when you look at all of these things combined, usually every single year, and quite literally every single year, we get some sort of Pokemon game during the holiday season. Now that is definitely a key point. The holiday season is where everyone's getting Nintendo Switches and Switch 2s and whatever the case may be. This means high value target, high value area. So if they really wanted to, Pokemon Emerald would be the best fit. Originally, we thought that it was going to be a Ruby and Sapphire, although these definitely could still happen. It seems like it's the year for Rayquaza. So the last time that we saw Ruby and Sapphire was back in 2014 with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It's been 12 years ago, that's pretty long, but not as long as Pokemon Emerald over here. The last time we saw that was back in 2004. Which was Pokemon Emerald, and ever since then, that game has not been touched. So if they wanted to, that game getting a re-release, just like what they did with Fire Red and Leaf Green, would probably be what Pokemon fans accept, honestly. Getting a game that is beloved, and there you go, you can play it once again. Because honestly, those ridiculous prices for Pokemon Emerald are kind of crazy. If you were to search up on the internet, Pokemon Emerald, a game that I could play, whatever, it is going to be $200. I kid you not, it's going to be a $200 game, which is definitely really crazy. If you want to play it on a Nintendo console in a legit way, you really have to pay that. There's not really a way around it, besides if you want to, I guess, jump aboard and sail the high seas with your pirate hat, of course, and don't want to bring all your Pokemon to Pokemon home. So you do you if you want to do that. But if you want to play the legit way with Pokemon Home included and having all those fun features that are eventually going to be happening, like bringing Pokemon at some point, well, there you go. You can have it on the Switch or Switch 2. $20 for one of the most beloved Pokemon games is definitely cool. Now, there's been some other rumors about them potentially making a special release of this game. Now, I can't tell you how great this would be, because right now, Nintendo is getting all the crave, all the hype, all of this company is the best ever because of all the blunders and all the missteps from every other company. PlayStation, no physical games for you. Xbox, I have no idea what they're doing. But Nintendo, if they decide to release a physical version of Pokemon Emerald, that would get Pokemon fans riled up, ready, exciting, cash in hand, and getting ready to get an actual physical version of Pokemon Emerald. Imagine how cool that would be. Being able to actually have a physical version again in 2026, that would be mind-blowing to say the least. Now, if these games happen, there's no confirmation that this is going to happen, but everything that we lined up so far, it is, oh boy, looking definitely very great. So honestly, if the Pokemon Company is going to do anything at all, it is going to be that. And also, what sells Pokemon games the most? Emerald games? Potentially. This definitely is the greatest way that they could do it. Potentially, for Emerald as well, they are craving off the Pokemon TCG, so you can essentially go, alright, I'm going to get the Pokemon Emerald set, and then I'm going to open it, oh, I got myself a Rayquaza, and then I'm going to go and play this game. Rayquaza, game, card, who knows? It's definitely really exciting. Overall, I think that this is all great things. I can't wait to see what's going to be happening. Also, if we were to take a look at the sales number for Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, could you guess what they are? Well, from Nintendo's statement a couple months ago, it was 4 million, which is definitely really crazy, which means these games sell, don't you agree? So, in theory, if the Pokemon Company wants more money, the best way to do it is to be like Mr. Grab and re-release things. It definitely makes a lot of sense. Also, if we were going to take a look at the Lego sets, those, can you guess the price of them? Because, oh boy, it's definitely really interesting. So, there's going to be 2 different Lego sets. One of them is the Rayquaza, which is going to be about $150-ish, which is reasonable, I guess, for a Lego. And then we got the Pokeball, which is going to be $300. So keep your eyes peeled. Something's about to happen. Get ready to play one of your favorite games once again. And honestly, things are about to get exciting. Now, of course, everything that we've probably just discussed right now seems to be more leaning into the theory aspect. Don't worry though, it definitely looks like Pokemon Emerald is going to be returning. Just trust me on that one. Just do it. It's coming back. Why wouldn't they release it in the hype of Rayquaza? Why wouldn't they do something about Pikachu if they really wanted to? I'm just saying, we've already seen how Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green are doing with 4 million copies each. Like, those games sold great. So, overall, this is definitely some great news. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is good news for Pokemon or not so much good news? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Consider hit that like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. Help me reach my goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of July, because July 30th, that's my birthday. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. See you in the next one. Hope you have an amazing day, or should I say, a Rayquaza day. Woo!